Welcome to the Mad Lab MMA. Brought to you by the Mayo Media Network. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Guy has great content producers here, great guys that deliver content across every sports, and he's a great guy, period. So I'm here with the Mad Lab, Michael Iurato, and I'm Anthony Busciglio with Mjolnir, our Thor.
Sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes you're the nail, and this week we were the fucking nail.
We were the nail. Yeah, we take our wins and we take our losses on the chin. Last week was a rough week all around, the whole fucking card. Main event. I know we said it a million times, right? All it takes is one, and that fucking one happened. We were all over Blades, and rightfully so. I think the better.
It was the right. I mean, it was the right pick. If I would take that fight all over again, I would pick it every time. I'm going for Blades. I'm always going to go for the guy that's going to have the more upside, the better.
It's funny. I had this guy. I forgot who it was. Somebody in Jersey. That whenever I had this conversation, I'm like, well, it was the right pick. And it wasn't the wrong fucking pick, bro, because you lost. That's what they would always say. No, obviously it wasn't the right pick. They would say, all right, I know, asshole.
Yeah.
I'm like, but you would have picked this guy no matter what.
Yeah.
Well, no.
Yeah.
Like,
I see. If they were to fight tomorrow, I'd pick Blades again. You know, but the problem I did see with Blades, and now I think it's a clear problem going forward, is he really just doesn't get off the center line. You know, he really doesn't get off the center line. He made the same mistake 3 times.
The intention was there, but I think that as soon as the first round started and he caught a couple shots, he got so scared after he felt the power.
That one shot. Remember that one shot?
And it fucked him up for the rest of the fight.
Yeah.
He didn't know when to shoot. He was afraid to go in.
Yeah, he seemed very tentative. And if you could go back and you watch that fight, you'll see there was one point in the first round where he got caught. And you could see he tasted his power a little bit, and he didn't like it. Not that anyone's going to like it, but you could see it made him very cautious on the shot. But he wasn't changing the angles. He's like I said in the article, he's got to find an angle to go in. He can't go in on the center line. Goes in on the center line, and bro, it was like a fucking piston.
He threw 5 punches. The whole fight. He hit him, and then afterwards he said, "That's all we were waiting for."
Crazy.
Was that one uppercut?
It's crazy.
You know what's funny is that everybody knows that I do this with you now with Mad Lab, and so a lot of my friends from home, almost all of them, I feel like they all jinx me. Like Lewis is gonna win the fight. Like, yeah, I bet you right now $5. I bet you 20. I bet you 10. All my friends.
And then they think they're geniuses.
And then they all were texting me.
I told you.
I told you. You guys should have picked Lewis. I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah. Let's talk about that fucking Korean barbecue you took me to.
Never had it before.
And I wanted to wait until this podcast. I mean, this show to explain. Oh, bro.
You didn't like it?
Yeah, I like the meat, but they brought. Listen, first of all, you sit at this table. I wanted to wait for this. I swear to God.
I thought you liked it.
I did. I liked the meat was tremendous, dude. Right, the meat,
outside skirt steak.
Outside skirt steak. So they bring the steak over and they cook it and they fucking give you rice and they give you all the rice they give you. It's not enough. Like guys like us, we need more rice, but. When you sit down, if you go to like an Italian restaurant or something, they bring you nice hot semolina bread, maybe some goat butter, whatever the fuck it is. They bring you.
We're talking about Korean
barbecue.
I know,
but it doesn't matter. The crackers or something.
He's never had
Listen, they bring you like 50 fucking plates.
If you guys
that are like this big, and they got like Eye of Ute, fucking like the most
kimchi, fucking jicama, all kinds of shit.
It's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen in my life.
I'm sure anybody watching has been to Korean barbecue, and you know.
I've been to Korean barbecue.
No, you haven't.
But not like this.
Well, we live in Orange County over here, Irvine, where is a huge Asian community. Awesome. There's no fucking China house and Chinese food over here like the regular like fucking steamed chicken.
There was one thing that they brought.
It's all real shit.
It looked like fucking. It looked like
chicken veins, right?
No, that one thing that looked like it was fucking ricotta in it. I mean, I was like, what is that? And you're like, I don't know. I wouldn't even fucking try it. They had like a shrimp pancake.
Yeah, that was good. So, you know, with Korean barbecue, you order like one of the beef things, then they bring out like 15 sides. The problem was because of COVID, we were outside, so you don't have the griddle in the middle of the table. Usually. So,
and then and they give you they gave us like almost like a round top that's like not high, it's like low. Yeah, fucking shit everywhere.
That's because it wasn't like, you know, when you do it inside, they have the grill and they come and they start cooking a little bit at a time and they give you the sides a little bit at a time.
It was good, but the only thing I didn't like was they gave you steel fucking chopsticks. They should have gave us wooden disposable chopsticks.
I don't know why they gave us the steel.
They gave us fucking like silverware chopsticks.
I remember last time I went there, they actually did that too, and it hurts my teeth. Like,
it's not that. It's with everything going on. You would think they would give you disposable chopsticks.
With everything going on. Why, do you go to Russia to give you disposable fucking
forks?
We're
in a different. We're in COVID now.
Well, yeah, but when you're at a restaurant, do they give you plastic forks? For
I haven't really
dinner?
gone out to restaurants.
Yeah, they don't. They give you silverware. That's their silverware. I think you're insulting the Koreans.
No, get the fuck out of here. This fucking yo, you should have seen this shit though. They were like little fucking petri dishes with like you get like one little fucking eye of you here. One
eye of you. It was fucking yuca. You don't even know what yuca is.
It was good though.
Yeah,
the yuca was good. The other shit, it looked like a lab test.
I don't like the kimchi, but the yuca's good.
That salad was good.
The salad was good. The seaweed salad with that red shit.
Yeah, it was good.
Let's talk about this week's main event. Last week's over. Thank fucking God that didn't work out. This week though, we got Gane versus Rozenstruik. I think it's a great heavyweight main event. I watched some film. You told me to. I watched all of Gane's victories so far in the UFC, 4-0. The guy looks like a legit contender. Very light on his feet.
Who does he look like?
Who does he look like?
What boxer does he look like?
Oh.
Doesn't he look just like him? Come on. Anthony Joshua.
He does look like Anthony Joshua.
Doesn't he look like Anthony Joshua?
He looks like Anthony
Look at it.
Joshua.
If you guys don't follow boxing, look at Anthony Joshua. Tell me that he doesn't look like Anthony Joshua.
He moves really well for being that big of a guy. He was two-time national Muay Thai champ. And then I watched him film on Rozenstruik. He lost that fight to Overeem except for that last shot. Mm-hmm. But he lost to Nagano. Besides that, he easily won most of his other fights.
Yeah.
Right? And looked good doing it. A lot of power. What do you think?
You know, Rozenstruik, if you really look at him, like you said, he was clearly losing that fight to Overeem, and he got lucky. But that's what you get when you're in the heavyweight division. That's what you guys got to understand. You get that. You got it with the Blades fight, the same exact thing. That can happen at any time. It depends where you open the window, where your chin's line at the time, wrong place, wrong time. But if you look at Rozenstruik's fight, you got to go deeper than his MMA record. He's 11-1. He's got the one loss. Okay, but if you go deeper than that, this is a guy that's got 70-something kickboxing fights with 64 knockouts. This is a very, very polished, striker. And what I do like about him, there's things I like about him, but there's things I don't like about him in this matchup. The things I like about him is the way he hunts. When he hunts you down, this is not a guy who's overzealous. He's not going to really load up on his punches. And what he does is he does it with a very patient manner. And when he waits for you, he lets you bring him the fight, and he takes what you give him, and he'll fire back. And usually when he fires back to measure you and stuff, it's always followed by a low kick. You'll fire something, he'll come off the center line, he'll hit you with a low kick, and he'll reset. He never stays on the center line for too long. That's what I really do like about him. What he'll do is he'll get in his spots, he'll throw some feints, and if it's not working, he'll cut off the center line, he'll reset. Very, very aware of where he is, where his surroundings, what you're throwing, both hands, your limbs. It's very, very aware. The thing I don't like about him in this fight is that he does that. You got a guy in Gane who's more athletic. He's on his feet more. He's on his bike. He ties his punches and kicks together very, very well. He's got good power, but he's also got an intelligent game behind him if it goes to the ground. You know what I mean? So this is a guy who's not afraid to pin you up against the cage and take you down and work.
That's what they talked about a lot about his submission game and his ground game that he hasn't had to show a lot of yet.
Yeah, he hasn't. I mean, he really has. I mean, the one choke that he did land, I think it was in his UFC debut.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It was muscled.
Yeah. What do you call that choke?
It was I think it was an arm triangle he got him with.
Yeah, the arm triangle. Yeah.
So it was.
That was against Pessoa.
Yeah. It was muscled. You know what I mean? But.
He tapped him out quick too.
But if he can muscle it.
Yeah, because he's big.
He's big. You know what I mean? There was the technique wasn't there, but he knew he had the right idea. He did it against a high-level grappler, and he's not afraid to do it. So obviously he has some confidence in his ground game. There's just something about him that I like.
I like him too.
There's something about him I like. I think he's got the potential to be very well-rounded. I think he's got a very high confidence. This is a guy who doesn't have the polished. I wouldn't say he's as polished as Rozenstruik when it comes to credentials in kickboxing.
You know what it looks like though when you watch a guy like him fight, compared to all the other heavyweights and new guys, he looks like he has a very high ceiling.
Very.
You know what I mean?
I
like,
agree.
wow, this guy could be a fucking heavyweight champ one day.
I agree.
Maybe a couple years from now.
I agree.
He looks like he really has a high ceiling.
He does.
Where Rozenstruik, I think, is good. I don't know how much what kind of a ceiling he has.
I think Rozenstruik is what Rozenstruik is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't, you know, he's good. I don't see him elevating higher, but Gane I could see.
Right. You're never going to get to some crazy grappling exchange from Rozenstruik. He is what he is. He's about timing. If you're going to stand and trade with him, the chances are he's going to have a good showing with you. But the thing I don't like about him, and if you watched all his fights, sometimes he gets overzealous and he loads up and he leaves that entire center line open. And that's something that Rozenstruik, being a patient fighter, can capitalize on. If you see Cyril Gane's fight, sometimes when he has you rocked, he will literally charge in and he will literally load up and just start uncorking shots from a very wide angle. And if that's leaving you open, and Rozenstruik is patient and he waits for that, and he's the type of fighter that takes what you're giving him, he's going to find that spot, and if he hits you with it, he's going to do what he did to Overing. I just think Cyril Gane is a little bit too smart for that. If you watch the way he fights, too, he's always moving.
You could tell he's got a really good cage IQ.
He's got good cage IQ. He fires a lot of kicks to keep you at bay, to keep you honest. A lot of his kicks aren't really meant to. I mean, his body kicks hurt. They sting. You know, if you watched his fight against Mays, when he hit him with that fucking body, it echoed the fucking arena.
Yeah.
But when he's throwing low, and sometimes he does it just to bring you off to a new angle. He will literally come in and he'll fire off some leg kicks to bring you to the angle he wants you, and he'll move you in the direction that he wants. That's intelligence right there. He can get caught. We've seen it happen. So
any heavyweight, right?
Any heavyweight can get caught, but I like Cyril Gane, man.
All right. Well, I figured you were going to pick that. I like him too, but I go with whatever you said. So if you would have said Rozenstruik, I would have been got your back no matter what. What do you think of the betting line right here? Gane is a minus 265. Heavyweights?
No.
Look what just happened with the Blades fight.
Yeah, I wouldn't go near it. And another thing is a good point to bring up is I know a lot of people might look at inside the distance. Which obviously, if you look at the credentials,
he went to the cards already once.
Right, and I think that these guys are not your normal lumbering heavyweights. These guys are calculated strikers that know you're not going to be able to deter them away from their game. This could be a little bit of a slow chess match in the beginning, where that can be kind of a bait.
And you know what? Watching the fight on the decision when he won, I did watch that fight too.
Not this is 5 rounds.
Yeah, and this is 5 rounds, but there wasn't a lot of volume there. There was a lot of chess playing, so I knew that once I looked up the DraftKings that he probably scored low on that one, and he did. He only scored 56 on that 3-round decision, Gane, right? So you got Gane. So back to the betting, you're going to lay off at money. Do you think the line's a little high, minus 265?
Yes. Yeah, it's very high.
I think that's a little disrespectful to Rozenstruik. So maybe you think it should be more like in the minus 160 range.
Yeah, if it was around that range, I would probably take Gane. I would take a plug on it. But minus 260, I'm not big on pulling the trigger on stuff like that.
It seems like we're at minus 200. You know, especially seeing what's been happening in the last 4 or 5 cards. A lot of dogs coming through.
Welterweights and stuff like that. I'm talking boxing now, but when you get talking about the lighter weight guys, then you fine. But if you're talking about heavyweights where
too much power.
Too much power.
Too much power.
Too much.
All right, so Gane's the pick to win, laying off the bet on this card on the heavyweight matchup. DraftKings, Gane 9,000. Rozenstruik 7,200. Like I was saying, Gane, three out of his 4 fights he covered value, but that one decision victory, he only scored 56.
56 in a 3-round fight.
In a 3-round fight, and then Rozenstruik, he covered value in 5 of his last 6. The one being a fucking 2 spot after he got waxed by Ngannou. But besides that, he scored very, very well. How would you play this?
Well, you gotta go with the upside. You always got to go with the upside. You can't sit there and calculate all these things in your mind and say, well, what if it goes to decision? You still got to look at the facts that these are 2 powerful heavyweights that have knockout power and finishing ability with 5 rounds to play, which means that they got those 2 rounds that is going to work on
very good chance for a knockout.
Very good chance for a knockout. So you want to play both sides of it. I got to be honest with you, as far as if you're going by just one guy knocking one guy out, I mean, Rozenstruik's got the better upside when it comes to value and price. Because of his price. But I think Gane gets it done.
What are you thinking? If you were putting him in 10 lineups, how many would you put Gane in?
I would honestly say just because Gane, like you said, he's got a super, super high ceiling, but we really don't know who he is yet. Fully, I would say 6'4" would be safe. Okay, so definitely don't fade Rozenstruik. No. All right, put him in your lineups, but you're gonna have a heavier lean on Gane. Yeah, 6 to 7, 4 to 3. All right, cool. Well, listen, guys, come check us out at madlabmma.com. If you go over there, you can subscribe to our email newsletter. We send out content, videos, betting tips, DFS tips.
And if you want to come join us, we have an awesome community, private Discord, private live stream. It's all MMA all the time, articles, breakdowns, DFS, prize picks, and we love what we do. And if you want to give us a try, come check us out and hit the join now button, all right? We'll see you next week.